Hey guys, we got war number 4 here of season 48. We've moved up to tier 2 and it's going to be a fun one. So all 9 of my 10 fights were against tactic defenders this war, which in itself is fun, but 5 of those 10 fights were bullseyes. And yeah, you can only imagine how fun that's going to be. So I'm going to be using Bishop, Kushala, and Sunspot. First up here, I'm getting a bar of power with Bishop before I throw on my power start boosts, or my power back boosts for mutants. And then I'm going to be going in this next fight here with Kushala. This is one of 2 fights that I'm going to be using Kushala for. And he's actually running suicides, which is nice. Helped me out just a little bit. So was going to try and intercept a little bit, but figured I'd play it as safe as possible, and I think it pays off. But he has a ton of those passive furies right now, a ton of attack basically, and I just need to keep from making him go unblockable where I don't have my unblockable buff up, but I did push him to the second life there, and I do have my unblockable buff. I accidentally threw a special 3 there. I gained a lot of power really fast, so wasn't trying to throw a special 3, but those degens should put in some pretty decent work. Like I said, I'm only using Kushala for 2 fights, so I'm really hoping to not have to use that many potions this war, even though there's a lot of tough fights, but I've run out of the potions that I bought on sale, so now it's trying to conserve units. I was a bit late. I was driving for the first part of war, so I wasn't able to jump in until a little bit late, so it'll actually conserve a bunch of my energy refills. But here I'm going to throw on my mutant boosts. I was looking in the wrong spot first. Biggest ones possible. I am boosted as big as possible for this war. We're probably going to lose, but it's a tier 2 war, and I want to try the new nodes, and I want to try these tough defenders on those new nodes. So first off, I'm just going to parry a lot with Bishop, build my prowess, and then start throwing specials. Hopefully it returns most of my power, which I realized may have been slight overkill because now I'm at 3 bars of power. I kind of forgot how Bishop interacted with his not using his power until after the special attack was over. So even with the most power possible from that special 2, I can get to a maximum of 2 bars of power if they don't die from it, or 1 bar of power if they don't die from it. Next up, I threw an invulnerability boost on here with Kushala and instantly throw a special 1 and forget that he's nullify immune with this node pretty much, so I'm going to start throwing special 2s after this. He does throw specials. I don't really care that much if he throws specials. My biggest issue is I can't eat more than 3 special 3s, which I don't think it's really possible with Kushala to let him get to 3 special 3s as long as I don't slip up and get hit. But I ate my first special 3 here, and at this rate, he's basically dead. I don't think I'm going to bother hitting him again after this. Just let him tick away, which is, I can't even see that number, but it was a lot of damage per second. That was a rank 5 ascended Hulkling. That was only a rank 3 Bullseye that first fight in. And next up we have, or a rank 4 Bullseye, I'm not sure what I said. Another rank 4 Bullseye. And Bullseye at rank 4 doesn't bother me that much, especially on nodes where I can parry stun them. So I'll go in this fight, build a little bit of prowess, and throw a heavy attack and throw a special 3. I forgot about Bishop's Awakened ability where he gains his abilities for how much power he ended the last fight with. Here, I'm going to go ahead and parry once more and throw my special 3. I was going to wait for that debuff immunity to fall off, so my special 3 put the energy vulnerability on him, but then shortly after I remembered that it really doesn't matter because the energy vulnerability is going to get shrugged because he's going to get knocked down again. So basically, I want to knock him down with a heavy attack here, and then I'll just finish the fight off with a special one. I'll bring all that power to the next fight, so not that bothered. Next fight is another Bullseye, except this next one is rank 5 and Ascended and on the energy resistance node. And I forgot about, before the war started, before I joined, I remembered I have to throw special 3s with Bishop, and I go in this fight and I completely forget about it. So I do throw a little potion into Bishop here. I'm going to be using him for this fight, and then for 1 or 2 more fights after this. So I go ahead and heal him up and go into this fight. I eat several hits there. I had the invulnerability boost on still, so it didn't matter that much. But I throw my special 2 here, that first hit crits, and then I realize as soon as I throw that I really messed up there. I'm not going to get any more power because of the node. I was really hoping that it would not work like that, but it definitely did. I go and hit him twice because I forgot about Limber, and now it's a race to the death pretty much. I'm way behind. I'm pushed back in my corner. There, I did hit him with light attacks so that the Limber didn't really matter so much. Pushing him over that bar power, he was still stunned for the second hit. And now I know I just have to play around it, get as many of my regens as I can, and hopefully bait special 2 so I don't take that block damage. But now I'm realizing he's very close to a special 3, and I'm kind of backed up in the corner still, so he throws it. I'm in the corner. I've not been very good at dexing his special 2 in the corner, and I did mess up and I died there. So I'm going to go in with Bishop again. I know he has the energy resistance, but just the damage from him shrugging off my stuns should take him down quickly enough. I did half of that fight with messing up quite a few times, so I'm pretty confident I can take him down the rest of the way just playing Bishop without special attacks. So go in here, do a couple of hits. I do remember to throw the light attack there to keep him from that second hit hitting while he's not stunned. And now he's not wanting to throw specials again. I'm not especially baiting right now yet, but I'm just throwing light attacks, hoping that he will take enough damage to where he dies before he gets to a special 3. And it's looking fairly good at this point. He's down to 12%, but I can't really keep going, and I decide to go for it. I throw my striker because the striker cannot be evaded by his evade, and I did end up getting him. I would have been able to get 2 hits off after that striker anyways with the striker stun up, so I was pretty confident that he was going down one way or the other, but I didn't want to get backed into the corner and eat another special 2 there. Next up on Hazard Shift, I thought about using Bishop if he had at least 2 bars of power, but Bishop does not have power, so I'm going to be going in this fight with Sunspot. I'm going to pop on a power start boost. That way I can get my 2 solar charges and then hopefully get to a special 2 after blocking hopefully only 1 special 1, because with him not being bleed immune or resistant or anything, it's going to be a lot of damage. And luckily he's running suicides, so that helps a lot. I threw that special 2 right into his, or special 1 right into his block, kind of wasted it, but now the fight's kind of under control a little bit. I do get the parry on the special 1, which I reduce some of the damage to 0. Now he's got the poison phase up, so I need to wait for that to fall off before I'm able to go ahead and hit him. But I throw my special 2 here, knowing it'll give me a lot of power back, and it just goes ahead and kills him. So even if that hadn't killed him, I would have been pretty much to another special 2. Could have blocked a couple more hits and thrown another special 2, and he should have been dead. But now we have another Bullseye, 5th Bullseye of the war, given up 1 death to a Bullseye so far, so Hopefully it doesn't continue. This is not a very... I don't think Bullseye is a very good placement on nodes that aren't stun immune unless you ban Bishop. If you ban Bishop, then him being on a non-stun immune node is not that big of a deal. But with Bishop being available on a node where you can stun him, he's really not that difficult. So I'm going in here. I'm confident in dexing his special 2 if I'm not against the wall. So I'm just really hoping he throws it before he gets me into the wall. But here I see that I'm almost at 2 bars of power, and I'm quite confident that a special 2 with that much power will kill him. But he does end up throwing that anyways. So I'm going to go ahead, throw that, and throw my special 2, which does end up killing him. Got 3 bars of power. I am planning on using Bishop for the boss fight. So, which is a Elsa Bloodstone. Kind of strange option for a boss. But I'm not going to complain that it's not another Bullseye. I'm going to throw a couple of team potions in. I plan on using Sunspot for this next node up here. And so, going to heal him up a bit. And I needed to heal Bishop for the boss fight anyways, so the team potion is just what made the most sense there. Sunspot's really good against Thing, even though you can't really throw special 2s with him, just because he reduces the damage that, or he reduces the amount of resistance they can get to damage based on how many solar charges he has. So you can see even with his protection up, I was doing a little bit of damage. And right here, I do throw 1 attack. I'm not sure why I only threw 1. I needed to hit him twice for that last rock stack. And for some reason, I tried to parry that. I forgot it was going to be unblockable. And at this point, I'm running out of prowess a little bit. I forgot to pay attention to my solar charges. So they're about to fall, or my, not solar charges, my incinerate charges, whatever they are, they're going to fall off because I completely forget about them and just go ahead and hit him a whole bunch of times before throwing my special 3 to refresh them. I do throw my heavy attack here to suck some of them back up, but you can see there I'm at 16. I get hit several times, and it's not looking quite as smooth as it did a second ago. But here, I let them fall off, and I realize that, like, as soon as they fall off, and I'm like, oh, shoot, I need to throw my special 3, get my damage up again, get the at least 1 solar charge, because without any solar charges, Sunspot hits super, super weak. But I do throw that special 3, which at this point, I'm winning the health race. I know I can keep my prowess up just from hitting his block, and so I'm not that worried about it right now. Here, he just keeps dexing and keeps weaseling out of my way. So I do hit his block several times there, get my prowess back up, and hit into him. I know I can throw my striker, but he ends up dying before that. Last up, we have an Elsa Bloodstone boss. Like I said, kind of strange placement for a boss, or kind of a strange placement for Elsa. So I'm not really worried about it whatsoever. Bishop should end this in a special 2 or in a special 3, special 2, or maybe a special 3 and 2 special 2s. But I was thinking maybe she had suicides and someone was hoping, or they were hoping that someone would go in without a mutant. But seeing as, I don't know. I don't really know what their thought process was on this. But I do end up soloing this fight. It goes really smoothly. And that'll put me up to 40-2 for the season. Not the best, but seeing as it's a pretty miserable season for defense tactics and bullseyes everywhere, I'm not too disappointed in the deaths. Still avoided taking that right-hand side for the mini boss island, which I need to start taking it more often. I keep saying that, just like I need to take that Killmonger on the hazard shift, but it just didn't quite line up this time. and I was taking bullseye fights with bishop. But that'll do it for this war, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Oh, here's just a quick recap of where all the bullseyes were. 4 bullseyes minis. But yeah, thanks.